I hate the fact
Can't
that
you
it's inverted.
see? You hate the fact that what?
It's inverted. Like, I know that people view me this way.
Oh, the camera.
What if I don't?
What if it's easier? If it wasn't inverted?
Like, literally just...
I mean, it's nice that stuff isn't backwards.
I would just... Things lie to me.
I want my perception to be distorted, please.
Yeah, like,
it's easier to look at that way. Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh my god, my entire head is lopsided right now.
No, it's not. You're
Yeah,
just
it
not
is.
used to seeing it like that. What? Oh, your hair? That is up to your discretion. Everyone, Ronnie's fixing his hair.
Sorry, guys. Oh, that made it worse.
Don't worry about it. That's fine. It's a matter of your perception. Ronnie can't even hear me. His headphones are off. Oh. Really had them leaning back on your head. Okay, to everyone who sees this, but also everyone who's listening, do you have your headphones, like, further in the front of your head? Like, closer to your forehead? Or do you have it towards the back, like, peak of your head? Like... which way do you prefer wearing them? And I don't personally think that there's a right way. I noticed myself wearing them pretty far back, so I tried to move it forward. So I guess my placement of it fluctuates by an inch or two, but I did that because I started seeing videos of people who wear headphones a lot and they literally have a dent like in their scalp. And as much as I'm okay with that because I understand, I don't personally want that, and headphone hair is more than enough of it looks enough like that for me. So I wouldn't want to go any further than that.
I try to push it back because when it's like in the middle of my hair, it makes my hair look more awkward.
Yes. No, I see that. Or like I get that. Because
I notice that it always goes like here. Like you can literally tell where I always wear headphones.
Yeah. It's kind of aesthetic. Okay, shapewear for hair.
Come on.
What is it? Waist trainers for your hair.
Waist trainers for your hair. Yo, someone needs to make that ASAP, baby.
Someone there's like this the hair trainer thing. There's like this hair trainer thing that like it's like a hoop that holds the back of your head and above your ears, so then it pushes your hair in so that it kind of looks like you have like a fresh cut, but also when your hair is resting down, it doesn't rest down and curl outwards, if that makes sense.
Yes.
It's so that like the hair at the bottom like tucks in better. Like if you're the type of person that's hair is long but not long enough, not past your ears, like it's just like long over your ears and you like to tuck your hair behind your ears, it's for you. It's for that kind of person, because then it holds the hair in that area for a while and it's almost like a no heat curler. You just leave it in there for like a few hours, and then you take it off and then your hair tucks better behind your ears without you having to do it. I don't know how much I like it, like, as an idea. I mean, it looks cool. Like, when you put it on, you kind of look like a Marvel superhero. And if there's one thing that we know about superheroes, it's that they're styled really well for some reason, especially in the modern versions. Like, they always look really good.
Yeah.
They look like... they look like when you turn on the lights at a gay club.
Well.
You wow. You got it. You wow. Yes.
What if I don't like this particular light? Should I make it warmer?
What?
Like, oh, okay.
What? I'm so confused. Are you like projecting a color? Oh, it's your ring light?
Yeah.
Yes. Ronnie has a ring light.
Sorry, guys. Just move back.
Yeah, no, Ronni moved into the Montebello place. You have seen this place. This is actually the first place that we started recording video with the podcast.
Anyways, so,
I'll figure it out. I'll rewatch the episode and see if it's already out there. If it's already out there, oh well.
Oh well. Yeah, just moved back. I was on vacation for the weekend, and then now I'm here.
Where were you in vacation? On vacation?
I was in Arizona.
Yes, you were.
I got a really bad tan.
Mm-hmm.
Exhibit A.
A really bad tan, meaning sunburn.
Yeah, it was a really bad sunburn. But
Yeah.
it's fine now. It's just because I forgot to reapply.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the sun in Arizona doesn't fucking play at
Well,
all.
the thing is, it wasn't even hot.
Oh,
Like, I mean, okay, like, hold on. I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna sound crazy for bringing up the like how hot it was. Okay, it was in the 90s, but
uh-huh.
for Havasu, that's really not that hot.
Yeah, no, because when we were on the lake, wasn't it like
It was like one.
it was like 105, 115? No, it was like absurd. I was like concerned that the shoes that I was wearing were not like heat proof enough to not melt on the sidewalk.
Still though,
I was like so scared.
no, it's literally fine. That's
Just a normal day in Arizona.
Yep.
Shoes melt.
But it's fine because now I have color back to my skin.
Yes.
Being in Boston for so long.
You lose your status as a brown person by living in Boston for too long.
For real, my family really let me have it. For real.
Okay, anyways.
Lie.
Hello again, my frisky friends, and welcome back to Rambling About Things I Read on Reddit. One second. Okay, be quiet for one more second. Gonna do one more thing. Rambling About Things I Read on Reddit is a podcast brought to you by Mahal Recording Group. Cool, thanks. Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm your host, Brandon Amore.
And I'm your co-host, Ronni Red.
We've got some interesting info. Goodness, we literally just started. Can we have a smooth beginning? We've got some
Absolutely
interesting
not.
info from the Northeast that we want to share with you. And it's juicy. No, yeah, we literally were just talking about Boston. So, go ahead and refill your gas tanks. Calendar your... Oh goodness, why did I write this? Calendar your laser LASIK by SCOTTHYV as in vision, ER.com. And wiggle your toes, folks. Because we're in for a doozy.
Dude, I did not comprehend anything you just said. I'm going to be so honest.
I
with
said
you.
go ahead and refill your gas tanks. Calendar your laser LASIK by SCOTTHYV as in vision, ER.com. And wiggle your toes. Because we are in for a doozy. If you are from the Bay Area, you know about Scott Hiver, laser LASIK. This is a callback to that, and if I traumatized any of you or reminded you of that trauma, you're welcome. Also, Shane Company in Cupertino, San Mateo, and Walnut Creek open at weekdays till 8, Saturday and Sundays till 5, online at shaneco.com. Just saying, like, if you're from the Bay, you know what I'm talking about.
Real.
Yeah. Ronni, what do you have for us this week?
What do you mean, what do I have for you this week?
Any updates? Life updates? Like anything that has happened for you? You know I didn't ask you to write anything, so like...
No, I know. I was like, oh my god, did he ask you to write something? Like, that's so embarrassing.
What did you, like, tell us how your week has been?
busy. Not really. I've just been packing, unpacking, reorganizing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn,
Can you
Brandon's
give us more details on like what just
like Brandon's gonna
happened?
have to move in here. Basically, I graduated. I went. So obviously, I was back in Boston for like 2-ish weeks just to like move some things back to California. And now I'm in California. Slay. But I just had like 4 boxes of things sent back, and then I had like a suitcase, a carry-on, a bag, and like a
You
backpack.
don't realize how much shit accumulates in Boston in a tiny place until you have to move out and you're like, fuck.
Dude, I'm moving out, and I'm like moving all my stuff into this place, and I'm like, I still have so much stuff in Boston.
It's like,
How am I going to fit this all in here?
Well, I mean, you don't have
Like,
to put
I
it
already
only in your room,
I gave some things to my parents, and I said, okay,
such
like
as,
I don't okay, like all my old softball like stuff.
yeah,
Like cuz they
children
want me to
memorabilia.
yeah, all those like all my little sports team stuff.
Yeah.
And then also like all my stuff from musical in high school. I'm like, what am I going to do with this? Like I would literally we're going to keep it, but like what am I going to do with it? So had to give that to my parents because I was like, I'm never gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. Like,
No, I get it. Oh gosh.
sorry. I'm definitely gonna have to get rid of some backpacks now that I'm like thinking about it. Like, there's like a lot of stuff that I have to get rid of that I'm like, no, but like, what if? Okay, Ronnie, like,
What if no?
no,
Like it's so
literally,
easy
Sierra,
it's so easy to get attached to backpacks for no reason. And it's like, I haven't touched this. I don't want to touch this. I don't want anyone to see me with this. But why do I not want to get rid of it?
like, it's literally the backpack that made me lose my shoes at VidCon. Don't ask. I don't know how, but I lost my shoes. A pair of and they were my all black Adidas Superstars.
All black
So
too.
that was just my vibe. I mean, because I ended up getting black Air Forces,
Yeah.
which I
Ooh,
know.
that says so much
Oh,
about
guys,
you.
it just-
This
guys,
is
it
so
was
much
just-
about you.
Guys, it was for the aesthetic. Okay, I like the way the black looks with the clothes that I wear.
It also
But
doesn't
now
help
I'm
that you're
like-
from SoCal and getting all black Air Force
Anyways,
Ones.
that's what's been going on.
Serve. Cool. Are you ready to talk about real encounters with monsters out
What?
in the forests of New England?
Oh, God.
What do you know about
Wait,
Bigfoot?
don't do that. Don't do that devious little laugh.
What do you know about Bigfoot?
What do I know about Bigfoot? What do you know about Bigfoot?
Got big feet.
No way.
Is Bigfoot just Shaq?
No. That's not.
I mean, have you seen his shoes in person ever?
Dude.
That's my torso.
Anytime I think of him, I just think about my friend who, like, met him and was like near the DJ booth with him.
His feet are massive.
Yeah, she was like
Foot
this
big, Bigfoot. Shaquille O'Foot.
Who
else
else
has big feet?
Me like thinking.
Oh, whoever animated the Proud Family, why did you give them all really large feet?
Yeah, no, like actually, what was that? What was that about?
Like, why on earth do they have torso feet?
No, that shit was crazy, honestly.
You know whose feet are disproportionately small? Gru. I am so
That's all
concerned
true.
for his spinal health.
His spinal health.
Because, like,
Well,
do you see that slouch? And on top
Like-
of that, the ankles The ankles are like the thickness of toothpicks.
No, like that's honestly insane. Like I'm surprised. He can
Like, that's impressive.
No, yeah, that's true strength if you think about it.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That's true strength.
Goddamn skinny legs holding up that hog. Okay. Why? Okay. Is it really my fault that they drew him like the penguin from Batman?
Happy Pride if it's June when this comes out, guys.
Oh yeah. I don't think it's gonna line up. But
I don't think it's gonna
either
line
way,
up,
even though it's not lining up when the episodes do come out, all of the backgrounds are Pride themed.
Be who you guys, it's literally not even June. It's literally May 31st.
Oh my gosh, yeah, but the other episode is out now. Oh yeah, because it is episode, hold on, 16. Everyone, it is episode 16. Welcome back to episode 16 of Rambling About Things I Read on Reddit.
You're still here sticking with us. Thanks. Hearts.
If you're still here sticking with us, thanks. Hearts. Oh my gosh, it worked. Guys, the hearts worked for Ronni for like the first time ever.
Oh, baby. Ooh.
Tick, 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 boom, boom. Tick, 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 boom.
Song.
Literally so good.
The song, you know what? No one gives NMIX the credit they deserve, and it really, really makes me mad.
It is starting to happen a little bit more, though, because of that one video. Not nearly as much as it should be happening, but that video meaning the video where they were performing at a college in South Korea, and they were eating, and then the entire backtrack and everything cut out except for their microphones. And what did they do? Sing the entire rest of the song, specifically Dice by NMIX. If you're listening and you haven't heard that song, listen to it. Please educate yourself. Like
Context.
Consume culture. Anyways, they were doing that song and it cut everything out, but they just continued singing and dancing, and they were like, when they sing and dance to like full dance capacity while doing full singing capacity, meaning that if you know the terminology, they are absolutely belting the fuck out of everything. But even when they flip to their like head voice and everything, they are so incredibly stable, they give so much support, and they sound so good, and their pitch accuracy is absolutely terrifying. In terms of dancing, they are absolutely popping their chests and moving their like torsos in ways that you should not be doing while you're singing, because that just makes it so hard to get those notes out. But are they able to do it anyways? Yes, without question. And they destroyed it, and then they also continued singing the musical parts that were missing, and stayed perfectly in time with each other while dancing, and just it happened and they were smiling. It looked like they were happy that happened. Like, you know what? Because they ate so hard, whether or not it was staged, I'm happy that it happened.
So apparently it was staged, but they didn't know what song it was going to be.
Interesting. I still don't care whether or not it was staged. Meaning, like, if it was staged, awesome. If it wasn't staged, awesome. The fact that they had the guts to do that in the horrendously critical industry that K-pop is, and also just the horrendously critical industry that music has become because of people using so much pitch correct on TikTok and thinking that singers are supposed to sound like their pitch corrected tracks, that's bold. And they sounded like their pitch corrected tracks without having any pitch correction. So kudos to them. But while we're on this topic, we need to put it out there. Because somebody uses pitch correct does not make them a bad singer. If you have listened to recorded music and enjoyed any recorded music at all where someone was singing, 99% chance that they were probably pitch corrected. That means edited in post or auto-tuned. For those of you who don't know the difference, edited in post, it means that they have a recording, they put a software over it and overlay it, and they use that to correct the pitches. Auto-tune is a separate type of software that you can have on everything, and then you can turn it on or off and change the settings to make it a little bit more smooth or a little bit more robotic. And that's what you hear a lot of singers perform with live. Don't discredit anyone just because they have bad performances live. If they have a performance that is not up to your standards, that more than likely means that they don't have the budget for a really high quality sound team. If you've heard a good live performance recorded, that was most definitely pitch corrected. The Renaissance tour, pitch corrected live. Eras tour, pitch corrected live. That's not a bad thing. That's not me roasting them. That's just literally good production. And if you enjoyed those things, don't be mad about it.
Yes.
Shit needed to be said. Shit needed to be explained, especially because people were talking shit about Billie Eilish's new album. Don't do that. I mean, obviously you can, and it's valid for you to have your own opinions and feel free to speak out how you would like to about that album, but don't say that she can't sing because she used auto-tune and other forms of pitch correct, because your favorite artists that you're going to try to compare her to do that too. Probably more so, and they do it just as much for their live performances. Further than that, anyone who works in audio knows this. Billie Eilish's Tiny Desk, the home setup for the Tiny Desk, the one that she did with Phineas, where they just put up a background behind them during COVID, that wasn't pitch corrected. And you can hear it. There's no pitch correct on that. Do not discredit her. Anything on Tiny Desk, not pitch corrected. You can use those as good references for what people sound like without pitch correct. Don't roast people. A lot of these performers work so hard and do very well with the settings that they are given. And most of the time they can't hear themselves. I would like to see any of you who are going to come for me and try to roast them. I would like to see any of you try to do that in any of those temperature settings in front of all of those people while wearing those uncomfortable outfits in makeup.
Anyway, so we're gonna get back to...
This podcast is called Rambling About Things I Read on Reddit. You can look at any of these topics on Reddit, so... This is not exclusively a horror podcast. This is not exclusively a crime-focusing podcast. So, listen at your own risk. You have to be interested in the same kinds of stuff that we're interested in to be accepted into this audience.
Right.
You're accepted nonetheless. But you're not going to feel as included if you're not interested in the same stuff. Which is fine. I'm not trying to exclude you, but I also don't know what to say to be interesting to you. So, that's up to you. Listeners.
Yeah.
So now that we've talked a little about our oversized bipedal friend over there, no we didn't. We talked about it a little bit and mostly talked about auto-tune, but mostly me.
Literally only you, babe.
Yeah. Don't act like you don't agree about this though.
Oh, yeah.
We be sending each other so much shit about how people do not know how to handle the fact that auto-tune exists.
Yeah, but once you get going, I'm like, okay, I'm not interrupting. Go off.
But do you have anything to add?
Not really.
Okay. I want to take you all to the not-so-quaint garden state of New Jersey. Nate.
Okay.
Nate. Rest in peace.
Sorry. Oh, I need to
If you listen... What?
be in Boston. I
What?
need to let him know when I'm going to be in Boston.
Yes. If you listened to our radio interview with Iz on KXLU, you will know that I said this. But, like, if you're from New Jersey, rest in peace. That's it. That's all that we have to say. If you're from New Jersey, rest in peace.
Truth.
Rest in so much peace.
Really sweet.
It's your anniversary. Well, would you like to know why we're here? Because it's not for
why are we
Bigfoot.
here? Why are we here?
It's not for Bigfoot.
Okay, for who?
Haunting the Pine Barrens of South Jersey for centuries, the Jersey Devil, or Leeds
Oh my
Devil,
God. No,
as locals call it, has been a legendary creature that terrorizes those
Okay,
residing
hold on.
throughout the
Close my closet
region.
door. Let me close my closet door. This one freaks me out. This one freaks me out really bad. Okay, hold on.
Okay, so for everyone who's still with us while Ronni is closing his closet door, what do you know about this? I'll try to remember that I asked this question and put it in some polls, but like if not, I don't know, DM me or Ronni on Instagram, because we mentioned our Instagrams and stuff too, or just put it in the comments on YouTube.
I know about this one. This one actually freaks me out so bad. Okay, let's get started.
You're like, let's get started so we can be done fucking right now.
Facts.
Yeah, okay. While depictions vary, the Jersey Devil is most commonly described as a bipedal monster. It's described as like a kangaroo thing with a head that looks like a horse or a goat. It has massive leathery bat wings and a long forked tail. So there's also, to top it all off, we have claws, horns, and cloven hooves, which if you are familiar with any form of Christianity, Catholicism, cloven hooves, we don't like those. Not at all. That does not signify anything productive, anything happy, anything light, gorgeous, anything wonderful. Of course, that's not to say that hooved animals suck, because we love hooved animals, just not
No, they
the
suck.
one. Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean, in some contexts they do, because symbolism. But in other contexts, stop animal cruelty. Like,
Why don't you just
like literally. Why don't I just what?
I don't know.
Why don't you just stop being cruel to animals? Easy.
Easy
I was saying
peasy.
stop being cruel to animals while like literally before recording this, I was so excited about telling you about a new bug spray.
Okay, that's different. Well, I know that they're important for the environment, but they're not important for my environment.
Oh, the thing is, the bug spray that I was excited about, I liked it because it's non-toxic and environmentally friendly. Yay! And it kills on impact.
Yeah, but, like, bugs are literally the reason why the world is maintained. But
Yeah, like bugs are wonderful. They do so many wonderful things for us. I
But
just don't want to see them doing the wonderful things for us.
Yeah,
which
just
is a
don't do
lie.
it.
I'm speaking for Ronni mostly.
literally don't do it in my environment, because my environment doesn't have anything you want, and I don't want anything to do with you. So get out of my environment and go to the environment that, okay, wow, that sounded crazy.
That sounded great. I was just like, you started getting to it, and I was just like, ooh, we're getting a little spicy to begin. Like,
Sorry.
I'm just
Sorry,
like,
guys.
I see some parallels with certain.
I know, especially because,
Oh my
dude,
God.
the Donald Trump memes are so funny. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm literally so sorry.
Okay, we were talking about this earlier. I need to pull up the texts because I think it's so funny. Because I don't know why I thought of this.
Mother Teresa
But-
couldn't do these crimes. Oh my gosh.
Like, okay, so there's this like crazy picture of Kamala Harris's head edited on to a person with a cop uniform, and then it has like Kamala Harris going like in the background, and then there's also another. It is like a multi-headshot. It looks like a cheap movie poster. So there's like a, and then we also have Kamala Harris being like, in the uniform, and then there's another one where obviously it's Kamala Harris. If you see Kamala Harris not cackling, you're not looking at Kamala Harris. Just saying. And then there's one where she's like arresting Donald Trump, and Donald Trump's head is like edited onto a what looks to be a Florida person. I don't know how to explain it, but what they're wearing is very Florida core. So we're just gonna say Florida looking person. And for some reason, seeing that picture made me think Kamala Harris, but as a Smash character. And if you don't know what Smash is, you should know what Smash is. Anyways, Kamala Harris as a Smash character, but her special attack is the Kamala cackle. And her melee attack would be dropping coconuts on people's heads.
Who else is scared?
Or maybe her melee attack would be dropping coconuts on people's heads. And her soft special, or like, what's it called? The other, her B attack would be
Yeah.
would be making people fall out of coconut trees and then gaslight them into thinking that they didn't fall out of a coconut tree.
You exist in the context like facts.
She just says quotes out loud. Like, that's like
He's not real.
Okay.
in my opinion.
So, the Jersey Devil is said to be incredibly agile. Its signature shriek is a blood-curdling cry that echoes through the dark tree lines. So, I want to get into some lore and some explanations for lore, and it's confusing, conflicting, and discomforting because it's lore / history ? That's the best way that I can describe it.
Okay.
So, the Mother Leeds curse. The Jersey Devil's origin story centers around a woman named Jane Leeds, otherwise known as Mother Leeds. Local lore claims she already had 12 children when she discovered she was pregnant for the 13th time. Frustrated, Mother Leeds is said to have cursed the child, declaring it would be the devil. Okay, why would you say that to a kid? I understand not wanting to have that many kids, but with love and respect,
That's a crazy thing to say.
what you already, once you had 12, I feel like you would be at least a little bit familiar with having a good sense of how you get pregnant. So maybe just don't.
Like, literally.
Like, I understand if it's like the first or second or third, maybe fourth, but the 13th,
What? Okay.
I'm like
come on.
you have at least a little bit of reference, like at least the tiniest bit of reference of like what to do, just to like be like, maybe this would decrease my chances of having a 13th child.
Yeah.
Like, there's obviously not necessarily a 100% way to do it, but like maybe you could decrease it. Anyways, 13th child during a stormy night in 1735. Mother Leeds gave birth. The child transformed into a horrifying creature with hooves, a goat's head, and bat wings. In some renditions of this retelling, the transformation is even more dramatic, with Mother Leeds herself being a witch, or the child being fathered by the literal devil. So, the monstrous child then unleashed its fury before vanishing into the pines with a blood-curdling scream. Some accounts even mention clergymen attempting to banish the creature from the Pine Barrens. Further complicating the narrative, the Leeds family crest depicted a wyvern, a mythical creature with a strong resemblance to popular descriptions of the Jersey Devil. It's like for anyone who hasn't seen what that looks like, wyverns are they're somewhere between a dragon, a phoenix, a bat, and something a little bit more devilish. There's a lot, I know that a lot of those are very similar in different types of like fantasy lore for like, say, things like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, whatnot. But like a lot of like it's like a dragon, but like nastier and creepier and yucky. It looks a little bit closer to the Jabberwocky from the newer Alice in Wonderland, the one with Johnny Depp and that one person and the other one, and also Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
So this combined with their family's anti-royalist sentiment may have solidified the association between the Leeds family and the monstrous Jersey Devil.
Okay.
So the question of whether the Jersey Devil represents a real creature or a manifestation of historical disputes remains relatively unanswered. I think not. Maybe. I don't know. However, by examining the Leeds family connection, we gain a deeper appreciation for the legend's rich history within New Jersey, Pennsylvania's, like, upbringings. Because, like, this is, like, old. This was entirely...
Yeah.
These accounts all literally predate the United States.
Yeah.
They predate the colonies. Well, actually, no. No.
You
Wait.
can't.
No. They don't predate the colonies. They predate a few wars that
Yeah.
This is like early. This is No, later in the colonies. But still, predates the United States. Strange.
Yeah.
So, eyewitness accounts. Early reports include Commodore Stephen Decatur's
Okay. Sorry. Didn't mean to laugh.
encounter with the flying creature during a cannonball factory inspection. And Joseph Bonaparte, like Napoleon Bonaparte's child, alleged sighting while hunting on his estate in around 1820. So throughout the 1840s, a lot of livestock were killed because of the Jersey Devil, as some say, but it's like, it was like very obviously not like coyote or wolf attacks. It was just like, it was those like large, like massive triple claw marks on like the dead bodies of cows that like weren't really eaten.
Yeah.
Which is scary because it's like, okay, cool, killing for sport, massive claw marks. Oh yes, they would notice, like, so this would happen, and a lot of times they would come out because they're like, things like cattle were screaming, and they would run outside and they would see something like running away from the cattle, and there would be like strange hoof tracks, and they would hear like a sort of like galloping sound and screams as it would like run away into the forest.
Ew, no, I actually hate that. Like, ew.
Greenwich Township farmer in 1925 documented through a photograph, actually, that an unidentified creature was attacking his chickens, but it's not super clear, so we can't even truly tell exactly what kind of animal it is. But the fact that it's like a non-specific looking animal is a bit worrisome, because it's like, why are the features not recognizable enough to be anything specific?
Right, that kind of freaks me out.
That worries me.
Who else is worried? Who else is scared? Who else is frightened?
Later on the timeline, 1937, newspaper reports.
1937?
Yes.
Okay.
It's getting closer and closer.
No.
Newspaper reports from 1937 detailed sightings of a red-eyed animal in Pennsylvania.
It was me.
A red-eyed animal with bat wings jumping between trees and screaming. That's you?
Think about it. No, I'm kidding.
The Jersey Devil is literally just Ronni. You look in the mirror and you see the Jersey Devil.
Dude, that would actually be terrifying. Holy shit. Oh, God. Yeah, that would be...
Now that I put that into your brain, you have to, like, cover your mirror tonight.
No, like, honestly, I'm, like, thinking about it. I was, like, literally almost just said, like, I think I need to cover my mirror.
Wait, like, don't look in your mirror right now, because, like, what if?
Stop it, because it's, like, you know it's right there, dude.
You're just like, okay. There's too many scary things related to mirrors. Maybe I should do a mirrors episode and just cover all of the things that everyone should be afraid of that relate to mirrors.
Yeah, because I'm afraid of a lot of things because of it.
Is that a yeah? Like, truly a yeah? Or is that a yeah as in, like, yeah, I can't handle that? Because I would not be able to sleep for 3 weeks after recording that episode.
Well, that's why I was thinking about getting a full-length mirror and putting it in my closet.
So you only have to see the mirror sometimes. I can deal with the mirrors. I don't know why. Specifically, especially
well, I feel
because
like
I've had that.
Had to.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I mean, I don't know why I wasn't so traumatized that I didn't do any, like, I'm amazed that I didn't try to do anything about my mirror after I had that sleep paralysis experience. Seeing the thing behind me in bed. Like feeling it move.
Oh god, that literally would have ended me.
It sucked because I wanted to move so bad and I just couldn't.
I get over.
And it was okay, and the worst part about it too was that all of the lights in my room were on too. So it's not even like it was like slightly dark or anything. I just saw it clearly in the mirror and I'm just like, see, this makes me feel so much worse because I don't even feel safe with the lights on.
Yeah.
I was just like, see, if it was dark, maybe that would have been so much nicer because at least I wouldn't have seen it so clearly.
That's why I was like, I was totally hyped for like a new bedroom set. I just didn't want a mirror. I don't like having mirrors in rooms.
Yeah. Me sitting right next to like massive full body mirror moment.
It's just crazy because I used to beg and plead when I was younger, or because I never grew up having mirrored doors or like closet doors,
Yeah.
and I wanted some so bad when I was younger. And like I would literally beg and plead my parents. I would like be like, "Can we please switch my drawers? Can we please? Can we please? Can we please?" And they'd be like, "No, like that's expensive. We're not doing that." um, and I was like I literally want it so bad. And now I'm like fully against mirrors in rooms. Like I don't like the
Yeah.
fact that I have one. I never liked the fact that I had one.
Mirrors are pretty scary for some people.
Yeah.
I've just only known having a bedroom with the mirror in it. So, I mean, in
Yeah.
Boston, I had the tinier mirror. I liked that mirror because it felt so retro.
That one was really cute.
It was so cute.
was
It just
so
it,
cute.
it was very like 90s with a slight antique core, but it was painted silver, wooden
I was
mirror.
gonna say like 80s.
Yeah, no, 80s. 80s, but leaning into more antique core, like extra antique core, but not actually antique. It was cute, but my problem with it was that you had to tighten the things and like tighten the sides of it, otherwise it would like swivel, and if you didn't tighten it enough, it would be all wonky. But if you swiveled it, it would loosen it. Strange. Cute, inconvenient, but cute. We get back to the story.
Yes.
Some young boys in Gibbstown also reported a monstrous sighting in 1951.
No, they didn't.
And later, within the same decade, in 1957, people started saying that they were seeing carcasses of the Jersey Devil around, meaning that there's probably more than one.
Awesome.
The interesting thing is that I've pretty much been through these forests too. Yeah. Nate's old house in Jersey was in forests this dense
Yeah.
as well. I believe because he's talked about hearing screeches in the forest around him as he was trying to go to sleep at night. And like hearing dying animals around his house, like screaming.
Absolutely not, dude. Absolutely not. You could not pay me to live over there. Sorry.
I think your allergies would go crazy too.
If I knew that and he was still there, I would be like, I'm sorry, you have to move out in order for me to visit you, bro. I'm sorry. Nate, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, babe.
You're still gonna visit though. You have to.
I'm gonna visit because you don't live over there now.
I mean I don't know where his new place is.
I hope.
I don't think it's I think I remember him saying that it's not as dense of forest. Because the other one, like the houses were way further apart from what I was told.
Yeah.
Like really far apart, super dense forest otherwise, so many animals.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean that's cool because it's like very rural but not too far from city stuff. Still pretty rural though. Okay, I'm gonna get back to this because I'm gonna literally keep talking about anything else otherwise. The 1960s saw reports of tracks and sounds near Mays Landing attributed to the creature. Notably, the legend reached a point of commercialization during this period, with Camden merchants offering a substantial reward for its capture, even proposing the construction of a private zoo to house the elusive beast. And now, for those who were waiting for me to bring them up, yes, I did watch another Sam and Colby video so I could get a better paranormal investigation of the woods.
That's exactly why I know about this. Because I watched this video.
Who else is excited for me to tell Ronni about something that he'll probably have to talk to his therapist about soon? I'm going to make you relive this whole video in detail. How long has it been since you've seen it? Yeah. You're going to hate it. You're going to hate it.
Yep.
Are we all excited? Is everyone excited?
No.
I hear them all like they're so excited. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad that you all want to listen.
Thanks, guys.
So we are off to the Pine Barrens with Sam and Colby. We have brought Josh, exploring with Josh, and Seth, cinematic Seth. This is a part of their Hell Week series. Note, if anyone watches Sam and Colby, watch their Hell Week series. They got some really good shit on there. So the Pine Barrens is like 1 million acres of forest. There are an absurd amount of like abandoned cities throughout, apparently. They're not like super duper metropolitan cities. It's like more like leftover cabin cities that are definitely like, ooh, they don't want to live there anymore. They shouldn't live there anymore. That's not a good idea to live there anymore. And Sam and Colby have a campsite to go to. So this time they're going camping and sleeping in the Pine Barrens in the forest. So there have been thousands and thousands of sightings of the Jersey Devil. Fun quote from the video. I unfortunately didn't put who said this. That's my fault. But they said, it looks like a stupid version of a Charizard, if that makes anyone feel better. Because it kind of does. It has really tiny legs, and it has legs like Mr. Tumnus from
Like, I know
Narnia.
exactly what it looks like, and I just hate it
Yes.
so bad.
There's also like massive bat wings on the back, and then it does have like, it kind of has chicken arms. Like, gotta be real. It has like T-Rex chickenish arms, and the head is very... It is weird botched goat looking. It's like not really goat, but it's also not really like horse.
Like, guys, this is fucking scary right now.
Yeah. So the Pine Barrens is said to have a lot of ghosts in addition to spirits. So now we're making our way to a barn. Oh wait, actually no, I lied. They just passed by the stables for a second to try to film something, but nothing happened. In the last 50 years, there have been so many reports of this 9-foot monster roaming the area.
No. Then move.
Just block off the entire
Why
area.
are you guys there?
Yeah, my next point was, why are they so willing to meet the devil? That's literally my question. Like, why do they want this so bad?
Like, come on. Like, can we be serious right now?
Yeah. So they got a scheduled interview later. So let us see how this goes. And I also said that I feel like we're following them for their 5-step interview process for an entry-level job that requires 10 years of experience to operate a cash register.
Yeah.
So we get to the interview, and they're interviewing Mr. Paul Evans Peterson Jr.
Paul Evans Peterson Jr. Okay.
And if there's one dude that knows shit about this, it's Paul Evans Peterson Jr. He literally wrote the book on this shit. And I'm not even kidding. He entirely wrote a book on
Dude, that's
this.
actually insane.
Like, he wrote the book on this.
What the okay.
He's a serious guy. So that means that he's wearing a Harley Davidson shirt with chopped off sleeves, fingerless gloves, and a faded moss green dad cap.
Yeah, he is. Hell yeah, he is, bro.
Yeah. The book is called New Tales from Old, The Legendary Pine Barrens. Wait.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And his wife is the illustrator of all of the images for the book, which is really
okay, dream
cute.
team.
Like, that's so cute.
That's cute.
And further than that, he is also a songwriter.
Okay, work.
So he said that he's been going to the Pine Barrens since he was 6. Note, during the filming of this, he was 67. He's been going there for 60 years. He grew up on this shit. Grew up around this shit. Grew up surrounded by this shit.
Literally why? Just don't understand why. I really
The Pine
just don't
Barrens?
understand why, dude. Like, this is just making no sense to me. Why? Literally, why? Okay.
The Pine Barrens is 1.1 million acres of forest. Why does the Jersey Devil take up so much area? Anyways, there are no people in the Pine Barrens for some reason.
for some reason.
For some reason. Like,
Give me a break.
that's 1.1 million acres of forest that people just refuse to live in.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people that live around it, but no one lives there. No one wants to live there.
Yeah.
Interesting fun fact, it almost became the largest jet port in the world, but it became a protected area. So, like, serve, but also, like, maybe protect it from us, too?
Hello?
I mean, protect us from it, too? I mean, yeah, protect it from us, because humans suck in terms of forests, but
That's true.
protect us from it, because Jersey Devil.
Yes.
Yes, so... Fun fact, again, the cars also can't handle the forest normally. The dirt is pretty much like sand everywhere. So cars often get stuck, specifically the off-road types. Like, literally, the most souped-up Jeeps get stuck there just because the sand is really horrendous to work with. And it's always, like, pretty puddly. Not necessarily rainy, but, like, because there's so much coverage from the trees, the water doesn't evaporate as quickly, so there's always, like, wetness and, like, essentially, like, quicksand for the cars.
Bruh, what?
Oh, he also warned them to never ever leave the trail. He was like, that's a bad idea. You might never be able to find your way back. Just stay on the trails. It's already a big enough risk to go there.
Oh my god. Like, anytime they do this shit, like, I'm just like, why? Like, oh god.
What made you want to camp here so bad?
No,
Tell
like,
us.
literally, what
Let me
was
know.
drawing you here?
So the Jersey Devil, as reported by Paul, this is some repeating information, but I just wanted to repeat the information just because I think it's important that we are actually getting, like, consistent reports across different sources. So Paul says that it has a horse head or a goat's head with incredibly large bat wings, stands at something like 9 feet tall. It has huge horns. It can breathe fire. Napoleon Bonaparte at one point had shot at one with a cannonball. Paul had also seen and heard it at some points in his life. And when he said he heard it, he really meant, like, he heard, like, screaming, screeching, and it flying off between the trees.
Ew.
When he was babysitting while he was younger, he heard stuff in the cellar of the house, and so as that okay, so he was babysitting while he was younger. He heard stuff from the cellar, and he heard the screams of the Jersey Devil from down in the cellar,
Stop.
like,
I
under the
don't
house.
like that. Oh,
The next morning,
goddamn house
his
by
dad
myself. It's crazy.
the next morning his dad went down into the cellar, and, like, pretty much everything in the cellar was thrown around, like, shit was cracked, like, everything was, like, it was a mess. It was like a tornado happened in there. There were scratch marks. It was crazy. We get to what is called the 1909 we get to the 1909 Super Week. So everyone in the areas around the Pine Barrens claimed to see it. And when I say everyone, I mean, like, everyone. So businesses and schools were closed because they were worried that there was some form of, like, overpopulation of the Jersey Devil that could hurt the masses. So people were not sending their kids to school.
That's insane. That's insane. Imagine. Oh, actually, I don't. Actually, never mind. Don't.
It's so serious. The Philadelphia Zoo still currently has a $10,000 reward for finding it dead or alive.
What the hell? Another reason not to live in New Jersey.
Oh, and as we know, Sam and Colby, their campsite is reported to be a hot zone for this activity.
Dude, why?
So, we want to also get into why the Pine Barrens are haunted. They mention this. So, there's something that's called, like, the Blue Comet Train. These are, like, spirits / also just kind of energies and apparitions that people experience, because they're not necessarily people. Maybe the train's haunted. This is called the Blue Comet Train. So people were killed walking through the woods in 1935 by the train. Huh. Cool. And so when you go into the forest, especially if you're alone, it is very likely that you will be hearing people's screams, because their residual energies sort of relive their deaths, and you just hear screams echoing throughout the forest around you. Screams of death, specifically.
Yay, literally love, literally my life. Beaches every single night, messy buns and Christmas lights, literally my life.
And so the fire marshal of the area okay, so the fire marshal in the area, in his house, has an evidence locker. In that evidence locker contains some remnants of a little girl who was killed by arson.
Okay.
And the fireman often won't sleep there, ever, because he's not comfortable doing so, because he hears her crying from inside of the closet of the evidence locker, like, every single night. And everyone reports that, because this is not specifically the fire marshal's house. It's like the firehouse when they be sleeping on the job to be there and ready if something like goes off and whatnot. No one likes to sleep there. They like to sleep away from that because they don't want to hear the crying from in the closet. Awesome. Paul thinks this is the most haunted forest in all of the United States, which I would say so. Maybe up there with Appalachia.
Okay.
Oh yes, there's also rattlesnakes throughout the forest. Oh wait, yeah, no, okay, let's get into this. I'm going to talk about some things that we need to be scared of, that are completely unrelated to the Jersey Devil or anything paranormal. Just scary things that exist in that forest. So obviously rattlesnakes. He also says not to walk through the tall grass because there's a type of critter called berry bugs.
Okay.
Berry bugs look very much like ticks, except red.
Okay.
They do this thing where they will go onto your legs and lay eggs in your skin. Oh, yeah, the eggs are laid in your skin, so they grow and then they eventually come out. So aside from the Jersey Devil, there's quite a few things to be scared of in that area, especially berry bugs. I feel like you're about to start crying.
I'm just gonna take my nose.
So, I'll try to get your brain off that and back to something else that you should be scared of. So Joel Moliner, during the American Revolution, stole from the rich and gave to the poor. He was very much like Robin Hood. Also, for some reason, in the middle of this, our dude Paul said, if you ever see mounds of something, if you like mounds of dirt in the forest, never approach it. Never ever approach it, because you don't know if someone was buried there. You don't know if something was buried there. You don't know why the mound is there, because often the mound is just there without anything being buried. There's just a really large mound. I like the fact that there's so much mystery shrouded around every single one of these things. Good night. Good morrow.
Dude, I'm never going to New Jersey because of this.
The forest is known to be overly silent. There's also coyotes that started breeding with the wolves in the area. So they have Kai wolves. A hybrid that is supposedly smarter and bigger and more aggressive. So they have to watch out for that.
In the middle of the night when the wolves come out. And
yeah. I put in here that maybe I'm more scared of the animals than the ghosts. I don't know what.
I found
I don't
the
know which to be
craziest
worried
thing
about.
today.
What's the craziest thing today?
I found old calendars from when I was in middle school.
Really?
So September 2014, 1D concert. And I circled it and I put Niall's birthday. September 2014.
Nice.
Gets better. Okay. October 2014. Where We Are movie. It gets crazy in November. November 2014. Okay. 5 Sauce on Ellen. 1 D-Day. Night Changes. Jimmy Kimmel Live. Ellen, 4 album,
Rest in discomfort,
AMAs,
Ellen.
arias. Like like this. I don't even need a ticket for the One Direction reunion. This is my ticket right here. Okay. Isn't that
Yes.
insane? I'm like, okay, well, I have to keep that because like this is gold actually. The fact that I had this all for One Direction in a calendar, like it's kind of funny.
What about the Pine Barrens brought this up?
I don't know. Sorry. I got really distracted.
No, that's okay. Thank you for showing, but I was just like, wait, where did that come from?
I don't know. It just like came out of my brain and I just thought about it and I was like, "Oh my god, I literally need to share this with
Oh,
you."
no, that was sick. Yeah.
Sorry. That was really off topic. Didn't mean it. Anyways, back to
The Pine Barrens.
do we have to go back and we can talk about One Direction?
Well, yeah, we're about to spend the night in the Pine Barrens with them, basically, through this description. We don't have to. You're like, no, we're never going ever. They're so sweet. For the transition, goodness, words. For the transition shot, they used Paul's music. It was actually pretty good. He's like,
cute.
he has a very cool country style, and it's just very raw sounding. Like it sounds like a
Yeah.
really good live performance, and the instrumental is pretty sick. I like the mix was also not too shabby. He's kind of
Okay, solid.
bars like we love.
Solid.
So they get to their campsite, and it wasn't too spooky. So we're chill. They're 20 minutes directly into the forest, though. There hasn't been any cell service for any of them at all, either.
Okay, even worse. Literally even worse. I said,
What's the...
okay, so
Say it,
while
say it.
Sierra and I were driving back home,
Yeah.
we saw a flash while we were driving in the sky, and we didn't hear any thunder after either. Like we just saw the flash.
Was there any clouds?
It was like it was like we thought it was lightning, but like we were really confused for a second because I was like, what the hell was that? Because then there was like no thunder and it didn't happen again.
Did you have any other weird experiences after that? That's still worrisome.
It was like really, really far in the distance though.
Who was driving?
Me.
Okay. Then it wasn't a traffic light.
No, yeah, no, it just looked like it was like a lightning strike. But I was like, but we're like, where did that come from? Anyways, okay,
Yeah.
continue.
Sierra, when you listen to this, I'm sorry. There's a reason I like to sit in the front seat. So, oh yes, there's essentially no way that they can contact anyone externally if they needed to. Like pretty much, they didn't talk extensively about having any park rangers either. So, not starting off
Not that
great.
I think anyone would want to be in the first place.
Yeah, but have a park ranger at somewhere like that, because I don't want people to get lost. Anyways, we're going to what's called the watering hole. They opened the doors to the car, and there was like a massive fucking wave of mosquitoes that just like started attacking them. There were so many mosquitoes for this entire video. This
I hate
watering
mosquitoes.
hole is also known. Wait, what?
I said, ew, I hate mosquitoes. Mosquitoes love me.
Damn, one-sided relationship. So
Literally.
the watering hole is called the Blue Winslow Hole. Okay.
Okay.
Hole. Apparently, it's always 50 degrees Fahrenheit for some reason. It never...
Consistency.
Yeah. And like, we know what it's like in the Northeast. It gets fucking cold during the winters. It doesn't freeze. It's like the only area that doesn't freeze.
That's also like that freaks me out, but also consistency.
So, oh, now they're mentioning the Leeds family.
More like
So-
consistency.
Okay. That's pretty good, I think.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah. So we're going to do Sam and Colby's rendition of the history on the Leeds. So they were known as people who didn't align with society's views on politics and religion. They often practiced what it was known as Quakerism, otherwise known for their people who practiced Quakerism were otherwise known for their opposition to war and rejection of commonly practiced religions. And they were basically like, hey, we disagree. Here's why. Also, we don't practice the same stuff y'all do. Kind of. Their family also wrote almanacs. So maybe they were less chill. Maybe they were less like the quote that I gave them just now. Because they wrote almanacs, that means that they were wanting to write and rewrite history in a certain way that they wanted. So, concerning. I get it. I get the concern. Not praising the other societies that they were against, because never mind. Essentially, they were sort of trying to write prophecies for like how stuff would happen. Like their almanacs also included what was going to be happening in the future aggressively.
Yeah, are these like the farmers' almanacs?
Yes.
Is that where they originated from?
Sort of. This helped contribute to that.
Okay.
So, and they were really proud of what they believed. And they had a 4-winged dragon figure, or a wyvern, as their family crest, as I said. Mm-hmm. So their 13th child was said to be cursed. Also, 13 kids. As much as I would roast them, my mom has 12 siblings, so there are 13 of them, so they're pretty chill though, so like
slay.
So like it's fine. And I said maybe the Jersey Devil is just Filipino. Maybe that's why the Jersey Devil has so many kids. Yeah.
True.
So as they're just exploring, they already start getting lost. There's also no markers on the trails, so they don't really know where they're going. They just know that they're kind of on a trail. That. Oh yes, and they're out of the car at this point. They're just walking around. And they forgot their flashlights and their water for this part. They left it all in the car at their campsite.
Just raw dogging it.
And there's a lot of swampy areas too, because of like the lack of evaporation, because of so many trees holding it in. The trail they come up to ends with a large body of water. The legend at the watering hole they're at is that the devil reaches out and drags people in and drowns them.
Oh, so why are we there?
Yeah. Oh, and on the other side, they see people driving around in a Jeep, and the Jeep gets fucking stuck on camera. And I was like, okay, we don't need what our dude was telling us about coming true. We don't need that.
Literally,
Paul, love your music, love your book. Haven't read it, will soon at some point. But so the sun starts setting before they get back, and they're half a mile away, and it's like almost completely pitch black, dark.
I'm assuming the only light they have is on their camera.
Like barely. I feel like they were filming on their phone for this part or something. They were like really raw dog in this part. Like they really did not have like anything. It was like kind of concerning. It was like a little frustrating that they didn't even bring water with them.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, y'all don't know how to fucking camp.
Come on,
y'all should have brought one person that did a little bit of Boy Scout type activities growing up. But they made it back to the car, and they're driving to their campsite, but there's no light in the forest. Like, the treetops are so dense that, like, you could not see the stars or the moonlight or even, like, little pieces of the sky. And, like, the stars are so bright because there's no light pollution in the area, because it's like 1.1 million acres of the Pine Barrens, and you could not see the sky. It was just black, and the forest around them was like it was just black, nothing to be seen at all. So now they're camping. I call this part camping time. They stay in campsite number 4. Like I said earlier, it's pitch black. Colby is the one that knows how to pitch a tent. Oh. Yes. He's the only one that knows how to pitch a tent. And they said that this is very similar to what they did for the Blair Witch Forest that they visited.
I remember that one. I remember that one so well. Like, I remember where I was when I watched that. Like, genuinely, that... I remember that video so well.
Yeah. We need to watch it. We'll watch it together. So, first time we're looking at one of the videos.
Okay.
Oh, no. The Blair Witch Project was the first time that they were like filming videos inside of a tent. So this is like they don't do stuff in a tent much at all. So this is a very interesting one. So Seth goes out as Colby is setting up the tent. Note, reminder to everyone, completely dark forest, barely flashlights. They do have flashlights, but that's it. No light from the sky, nothing. So Seth tries to go and pee over in the forest, and he hears a rustling in the brush behind him. So he runs because he hears more stuff around him in the trees.
Real?
So the tent isn't even fully set up, and all of them start hearing growling noises at them from behind more trees, again, because all that's around them is literally just dark trees and darkness and no sky.
Dude, that's the thing that would get me. Like, if I had the sky, maybe I could be a little bit normal. But if I have no sky, bro, are you for real? Like, that's what sounds more unbearable.
And the worst part about it too is that like you don't hear a bunch of like other little critters and stuff. It's like mostly silent. It's a very discomforting silence that occurs in the Pine
I
Barrens.
would think so. And I don't like that. I hate that. I actually hate that so bad.
To light the fire, they brought a Zippo. And what did they forget?
Nice.
Lighter fluid. So they couldn't use the Zippo. And they just continue walking around to check some stuff out. They find an outhouse.
Okay.
And for those of you who don't know what an outhouse is, which you're too young to be listening to this, it's a
Facts,
bathroom.
honestly.
It's a nasty old-timey bathroom, which is essentially just a really massive, very, very, very deep pit. And then there is an essentially like wooden porta potty placed over it, and then you just have a large hole where all of your human excrement would go. And then after it fills up completely, you would seal it up, and then you move the outhouse over to a new spot. This is very old stuff. Like, I've never had to, actually, no, I have had to use one of these, but that's because of Boy Scouts. I hated that. It was horrendous.
I would hate that.
Yeah. If any of you complain about what it's like to go inside of a porta potty, you've never been in an outhouse, and you're not allowed to complain. That's all I have to say.
Is it really worse?
Yes, because they don't put like bleach on the. Well, it's not bleach, because if you put bleach with your urine, that makes like mustard gas, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. They have some kind of scent disinfectant thingy that they pour on it. So the porta potties, even though it's stinky, like it's not as stinky as it could be, because.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes more sense.
Oh, also the outhouse was number 13. I can't remember if I already said that, but fun and horrible coincidence. Stinky place and unlucky number and terrible number because it specifically relates to the Jersey Devil. They now go around and each bring up a ghost story they want to share with us.
Why?
So, the White Stag. During a storm in 1809, a stagecoach was approaching Quaker Bridge.
Went to Stagecoach?
Yes. The driver saw a white stag jumping across the bridge. As he was investigating, the bridge was destroyed in the middle of the storm. So, this is a benign spirit. It is said that you see the white stag right before danger happens, so you know to sort of leave, or it stops. It keeps you from doing anything dangerous. It does everything it can to sort of like deter you before you get to danger. So it's beautiful. It's a magical protective spirit. So that's nice to hear. Like, refreshing.
That's nice. But
Refreshing after all the goosebumps we've just gone through.
It's like nice, but it's also like that I would be scared.
I mean the only reason I'd be less scared is because like white stag specifically is just okay. Not to expose myself for growing up on Harry Potter, but as someone who was born in 2002, If you blame me for having any interest in Harry Potter, that's not fair. Like, sorry, I was into fantasy things and Lord of the Rings was not my thing. So, also, you can buy stuff secondhand, so you support everyone who's literally not J.K. Rowling. So do that. Buy stuff secondhand if you don't already have the stuff. Highly recommend. Because that way you can enjoy stuff for yourself without supporting her. Yeah. I don't even remember what I was saying. That's bad. What was it? Oh, White Stag. Yeah.
Yeah.
The White Stag reminds me of the Patronus in Harry Potter. Essentially, Patronus is like, it's basically people's spirit animal that they use to protect themselves from monsters that essentially suck the life out of you while also causing you severe depression. That sounds close enough to the Jersey Devil. This White Stag is our Patronus, guys. Okay. We are now onto the golden-haired girl.
Okay.
Woman with blonde hair that stares out at the ocean and is mourning the death of her lover. She's often seen crying while staring out at the ocean silently. The worst part, I think, though, is that she's seen all over the forest, like everywhere. No matter whether or not she's close to the ocean, but she always knows where the ocean is, so she's always facing the direction of the ocean when people find her and see her around in the forest.
Okay, well, I hate that.
And in some forms of pagan lore, it is said that there is a sort of mirror of the Virgin Mary and Jesus within their own rankings. So Satan is said to choose a woman with 13 kids, and that child is supposed to, is said to come into the world being half human, half devil. So we go to Hell's favorite couple, Bill and Peggy. Bill promised that he would come back after he died. Cool. After he did, Peggy experienced the walls of their house start boiling. Like,
what?
Oozing like a hot, like acidic liquid. Acidic looking liquid.
No.
Peggy knew that her husband had gone to hell when that happened. So Bill left Peggy with a box of gold as well, knowing that she lived alone. Someone ended up robbing Peggy later, after he'd passed. The robber also burned the house down after the fire, Peggy along with the house. Peggy and Bill are said to still haunt the forest and set things on fire. So we get to the boy on Burnt Mill Road. So this kid...
Already not liking this.
This kid was out on the road playing basketball when a drunk driver ran him over.
Bruh.
The driver drove away and reached a dead end, turned around, and drove past the body again, and just drove completely past it. It was further than a hit and run, because not only did you hit and run, you ran, turned around, revisited the site, and drove away because you reached a dead end. You had more than one chance going past to try and help. You're far enough away from hospitals that you could have, I don't know, I don't condone this, but if you didn't want to get caught, you're far enough away from hospitals that you could have just said that you didn't do it.
That's crazy. Okay.
Like, you could like say that you didn't do it and take the kid to the hospital instead of just leaving the kid there or something. Like, not that I condone that, but like, still, if you didn't want to get caught, you could have at least done that. You had more than one chance to do that.
Yeah, literally.
If you go down the same road, turn around, drive past the same site that the body was, honk your horn 3 times, and flash your high beams, then turn the light off. The child appears.
Nope.
So, they want to do it really bad, is what I said. Anyways, they also have another one called the Atco Ghost Ritual. There are strange markings in the trees. Not even sort of like animals rubbing up on the trees. It's like there's just symbols marked in the trees. And they're big symbols. They're like this. They're like the size of my head, big symbols.
Okay.
And they're very deeply carved into the trees. So on their way there, they drive. There's a huge... Oh. this isn't another story that I'm telling. This is just them doing the at go ghost ritual to try and...
Yeah.
Okay. Disoriented. Clarification for everyone. So they drove there. There's a huge puddle that's really, really deep in the sand, and they worry that they'll get stuck. So they turn around, and they started getting lost, and they have no idea how to get back to their campsite.
Well, what did Paul say?
So they start driving, coincidentally, right up to a bridge.
Of course. Because what else?
Yeah.
Because literally, what else?
They keep on driving around, and they end up being lost for 45 whole minutes.
That's actually kind of insane.
But after that, they come up on a basketball hoop. What does that sound like? Maybe the story that I just told.
Mm-hmm.
They also see a crack in the road that indicates the site of the hit and run. 3 honks, 3 lights, and they start the ritual. As soon as they begin, they start hearing crazy knocking on the car windows.
Ew,
It's like,
ew.
just like right outside the windows. And it's not just them. Like, you fully get this picked up on the camera audio as well.
That's crazy too.
So Colby takes out a thermal camera and he starts seeing hot white orbs floating around for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
As they look at the camera, they also they were looking at the camera and they're outside and they're like holding it up to see stuff around them.
Yeah.
And then the car door just slams itself shut. Like Sam's car door that he left open just slams itself shut.
Bruh. Okay.
Oh yes, and also when they were in the car specifically parked, the car started moving forward by itself.
Nope. See, I had a feeling you were going to mention something like that, and that's what I was afraid of. Okay.
So Colby seems pissed, but also scared. And the car also starts to immediately have crazy problems.
Of course. Whose car is it again?
I think it's a rental.
Okay.
It can't move out of first gear. They tried to move it out of first gear, and it was like stuck, and it was so strange. It was very terrifying, I must say.
Dude, I would be losing my mind.
Yes, losing your mind. I'm gonna open up the dinkies now. Sip, 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 sip.
Okay. Sippy, sippy. Snap, crackle, pop, guys.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Took my sips. Okay. My throat was just so dry for a second there.
That's
probably because the AC is on. Okay,
really
so we get to the devil under the bridge. The same bridge they pulled up to earlier while getting lost happens to be the bridge that is said to be where the devil likes to stay. They get back to their campsite and there's hoof prints around
Nope.
their campsite.
Nope. Hell fucking no.
And these were not there when they first arrived. But they leave for a bit, they get fucking lost, all this shit happens, they come back, and what do they see? Fucking hoof prints. It's like, I understand that there's also deer in the forest, but the likelihood of that happening is so low, and the fact that it happened after all of this too.
Do you actually?
Fuck that. They grab flashlights and some equipment, and hike back to the bridge. Why didn't you go with your car so you could at least get away faster? Or be able to run and hide inside of somewhere. Okay. So a little silly, but they start to see a large I think it's the Asian murder hornet. Which horrifying. But yes, AAPI Heritage Month.
Yeah. Still your month, babe.
It literally is, literally right now. Not by the time this episode comes out, but because we're recording it at the time, it's sustained. Deal with it. In a strange way, it reminds them of the story of that white stag. Are you okay? What's up?
I think a piece of lint fell.
Double check everything first. Okay, cool. Anyways, so in a strange way, it reminds them of the story of the white stag. So they think that, like, well, the hornet itself was like chasing them away very often, but it seemed to only be chasing them away every single time they got onto the bridge. So they think that it's possible that that could have been like the spirit of the white stag or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like their lights weren't even on, and the lights at night attract like bees, hornets, wasps, and stuff, and their lights weren't on whenever it would like try and scare them away, pretty much.
Yeah.
I also said it could totally also just live there, but they're scared nonetheless, and
Yeah.
they take out the REM pod. So they do an investigation on the bridge. The REM pod detects physical touch and motion directly above it, and it's cylindrical shaped and emits a tiny like siren sound whenever it's triggered. They also have a thermal camera and the EMF detector. So they plan to call out the Jersey Devil and the spirits of the forest. I'm going to say some quotes. Pine Barrens, we came to you. Now is your time to show us what is in here. If the Pine Barrens Jersey Devil is out here, please show yourself. Can you please trigger some devices? And then the EMF reader goes off, and they ask, is there anything around us? The thermal camera shuts off by itself, so they can't see if anything's around them. So they decide to go under the bridge. Why the fuck?
Dude, like, genuinely, what are we thinking, guys?
Don't
what are we
get
doing?
yourself killed
Genuinely,
101. Don't go under the fucking bridge.
Like, literally, what are we doing?
Ooh, and as they mentioned the Jersey Devil, while they're doing this, the REM pod goes off. And they start hearing rustling from the trees around them. Not wind. It was very obviously something just moving in the trees around them. Okay, this was honestly one of the scariest parts of the whole video. They cut to a zoomed in wolf, and I got jump scared. Like, it was really, like it was a really zoomed in picture of a wolf. And I was like,
Bitch,
I was just like, Jersey Devil.
you gotta
No,
do a double take.
it's a fucking wolf. Not me getting scared of Jacob from Twilight.
Bella, where the hell have you been? Look.
Balala,
Bella.
balala. They call for the spirit and the white stag. Again, the REM pod starts going off, but it doesn't make a noise like it's supposed to. It like does this weird. The sound that comes out of it is not the sound that normally comes out of the REM pod for some reason. It sounds distorted. So now it starts emitting a high-pitched screech while flickering intensely for some reason.
Hate that.
And they ask, if that is a spirit, please let us know. And behind them, the bushes start to shake. And they turn to it with their flashlights, and the bushes are indeed shaking for some reason. In a very obviously not wind way. It's like an isolated type of shake where it's like, oh, something's fucking there. That's not wind.
Yeah.
It stops immediately as soon as they flash the lights on it. But the bushes are still left
Why wouldn't
moving from something that seems to have like run away.
Okay. I'm scared. I'm literally I'm like,
And they start hearing screeching in the back, like in the background, like within the trees.
don't show it to me, Rachel.
Okay. And they hear it again, and this time it was like huge, and it sounded like, God, it sounded like something was trying to sound like a human being hurt. That's the best way that I can describe it. And like you can hear it in the camera audio too.
Dude, no.
I think the worst thing about lore from different types of scary forests like this is that people experience like things pretending to be other people.
And that freaks me out so bad.
Like they're just like, if you hear someone call your name, make sure it's actually them calling your name. And they're like, if you hear someone being hurt, don't run to them.
How
It
about
could
I
be a
just
trap.
never put myself in those situations?
And me saying this, but also being like, I really want to go camping.
Okay, but I want to do glamping.
We'll do camping like the YouTube channel Fish 13. If you haven't watched Fish 13, watch Fish 13. Fish 13. You are doing yourself a massive favor by doing so.
Sure.
But yeah, that's how the video ends. Are you excited for the Funsky Bunskies though? Because I brought some Reddit stories. We have come to our segment, Rambling with the Redditors. Welcome listeners and watchers to Rambling with the Redditors.
Guys, I'm gonna like lose my mind right now.
I, honestly speaking, feel like I probably didn't do the greatest overview of these before adding them, so hopefully they're not terrible. And I hope
okay, we'll
everyone
figure it
listening
out.
enjoys them. Okay, so for those of you who have not heard of the legend, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna read the. Oh, never mind. I'll read their legend because it's separate. More separate accounts. For those of you who have not heard of the legend, I'll give a brief outline and description. The Jersey Devil is a legendary creature that only lives in New Jersey in the US, apparently also Pennsylvania, so you're wrong. The Lenni Lenape, if someone knows, please let us know. The local indigenous people have a similar creature in their folklore. Oh, so I was right earlier when I said it does predate the colonies.
Okay, so yeah, it does.
Fuck that. Like, the fact that we have not only Catholic Christian people putting out this kind of ideal against like a Satan type figure, it's across cultures. Like, this is just a known thing in the area.
Yeah, that's kind
Like,
of
this transcends separate beliefs of people because everyone experiences it.
yeah, that's honestly scary.
Awesome.
That makes it even like more terrifying, honestly.
Yeah. And they named its hunting grounds as Popuesing, which translates loosely to place of the dragon. Swedish explorers also named the region Drake Kill, where Drake is a term for dragon and Kill is a term for river or arm of the sea. Okay. The main story is that misleads. We talk about. Yeah, no, we know about that part. Now my part of the story. It was only about 10 p.m. and I was slowly drifting off to sleep when I heard what sounded like horse hooves outside my window. I rationalized it to be the horse from the farm down the road, but then I realized the horse farm was 3 or 4 miles away and I wouldn't be hearing the hooves clearly at all. I was instantly seized with fear, though I couldn't figure out why. I wanted to look out the window, to look at the wooden deck just outside to see what it was, but I was nearly too scared to look. I eventually peeked out. I saw a large creature standing on my deck, bat-like wings and a massive pronounced snout. 2 horns sprouted from its head, and it had 2 smaller claws on its upper body with horse-like lower legs. It looked at me for a moment before beating its wings and flying away. I didn't sleep at all that night.
I would have to move immediately. So
Yeah. Oh, this one is a fucking long one.
I'm scared, guys.
Oh, this one looks like it's good though. Did you like that one, Ronni? I don't think you liked it, but
Like, no, but like...
did you like it? Relatively?
Like, yeah, but no, you know?
You're like, it was interesting. Don't tell it to me again.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh, hold on. I forgot to credit who wrote that. This is in the subreddit r/the truth is here, and that was posted by Dragon567. Please, if you want to see any more from them, check out their Reddit. I don't know if they post a bunch, but check that stuff out. This is an archived post apparently, so I don't know how I found it, but anyways. This next one is from the subreddit r/no sleep. The account was deleted, so I cannot say who wrote this, and am sorry, but if you know that you wrote this, let me know. It was posted 11 years ago.
Okay, even better.
I have a keen interest in the world of paranormal phenomena. I attempt to seek out areas that have unexplainable disturbances that contain legend that baffle even the greatest of minds. Because of this, over the course of the last few summers, I have taken road trips around the country to experience these strange occurrences documented by others. I don't claim being one of those great minds. However, I am one that needs to feel and experience things firsthand. Know that I do this not for the sake of science and not for the sake of simply proving someone right or another wrong. I do this for my own self, for my own experience and thrill, for my own pleasure. In my time, I have seen and experienced things that cannot be explained. They simply seem to exist just to exist, to defy all that we claim to know as a race.
Yeah.
It feeds the sense of mystery and fascination that we wish to indulge ourselves with. For some, mysteries are sought for the sake of answers. However, I do not seek out the paranormal for answers. I do it for my own self-indulgence. This is an account of one of my first experiences. I enjoy keeping a record of my encounters, as in time the memory dims to an echo that may force me to question the reality of that experience. I trust myself enough that if I were to write something down after the moment of the experience in the fullness of its occurrence, I will no doubt believe what I wrote at a much later date. I agree with that. That's true. If I'm lucky, I'll even remember it. In the summer of 2010, I decided to visit the Pine Barrens, located in southern New Jersey. They are explaining what it is. My first...
Like, I just, like, would not visit this place. I mean, okay, guys, I know I obviously say every single time, like, why I would not go here. But, like, this, I know I said that, but this one, but no, like, I'm really for real. Like,
okay.
Anytime I'm reminded of this one freaks me out.
We continue. I found an unnamed road off of Washington Quaker Bridge Road and felt this would be the perfect place for me to make camp this night. According to my GPS, oh my gosh, do literally even put the Google Maps location of the exact area that they stayed. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
This is where I ended up. To be honest, this off-road wasn't much of a road. It was a trail that was poorly made. I had to park a little bit up from where I got onto Washington Quaker Bridge and hike my way that direction. I wanted to get as deep into these woods as I could, as far away from any type of man-made civilization that could impact my chances of seeing the devil face to face. Ooh. Okay. So you're an interesting person. You definitely have interests.
Yeah.
My goal was to disturb the land of the devil, to let him know I was there and come find me. If the tales were true, I was risking my life, but I had no fear of this. Know that I am not somebody who fears death, but welcomes it as another thrill, for perhaps another life or adventure. It is just another mystery that my persona needs to experience for the sake of satisfaction. Which, I mean, as ominous as that is, I understand that people people do that for, like, free climbing, skydiving, any type of extreme sport like that. So it's like, I get it. Like, this isn't, as much as this dude could be counted as crazy, I don't think that's crazy. I think that's relatively reasonable depending on the type of person you are.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot more common than we realize.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot I opened my drink.
Drink.
With me was your basic camping gear: a tent, sleeping bag, a pre-made tinfoil dinner, and a Ruger M77 bolt action. Damn, you were like, I'm gonna kill this bitch if this bitch sees me. Okay.
That's crazy, okay.
My curiousness included if this creature, assuming I'd meet it, would be wounded by temporal means, such as a common hunting rifle. Dude, this dude is, like, so weirdly well-spoken. This is definitely Reddit. By the time I hiked a little bit off the trail, it was around 6 p.m. It took about an hour to clear a spot and set up camp. Naturally, it was windy that evening, from moderate gusts to small breezes. Hold on, burp imminent. Excuse. Despite what I was searching, what I was wanting, I was completely calm. What I was searching for and what I was wanting, I was completely calm. Perhaps it was because I was doubtful that I'd meet this creature that night. There are a few moderate moderate amount of experiences recorded by people seeing this creature firsthand. So I can't say there are few and far between. My doubts were calmed, however, after the events of that evening.
Yeah.
It was around 10 p.m. based on the last time I looked at the time in accordance to the event. Jesus, get off of Reddit with love and respect. Please just write a sentence normally. I was passing the time through reading a book called Night Watch. Why? I feel if there was a world where paranormal creatures existed around humankind, it would be a world similar to how this book portrayed it. Are you going to give me a synopsis of the book right now?
Come on now, not the sponsor in the middle of it.
This video was brought to you by, it stirred up my imagination, maybe wondering if the Jersey Devil is a creature that is merely tolerated by the paranormal folk of our world. Do they let him be, or do they control him by only letting him reside in these woods? These thoughts began to joyfully enter my mind when I noticed the breeze around me begin to slow. The wind eventually stopped, as it had been steadily blowing all evening. My natural focus was on the crackling wood of my fire, but I turned my focus away from that noise to listen to the woods. Is he close? Has he been watching me all night? These contemplations began to excite me. Ew. Okay. We get it. You like voyeurism. Anyways, I was filled with joy and, of course, the natural nervousness that brings fear. I don't know why, but I knew he was there. I knew he was close despite no noise and no hint of something being near me. No, but the fact that it went silent, I think that's how you fucking know. Not even the slightest chirp of crickets filled the air. Only silence. I closed my book, picked up my rifle, full knowing that this will in all likelihood not protect me. I believe I stood there for 20 minutes, constantly looking around, hoping to see something move. I thought for a brief moment that this was not my night, and I'm only tricking myself into wishful thinking that he was actually there. At that moment, a screech that pierced the silence echoed throughout the woods. The screech matched the description of several witnesses as it filled your mind with terror and fear no matter what state you were in. It was skin-curling, and it made me jump. Enough, I accidentally fired my rifle. I'm uncertain that if it was due to my bad gun owner's etiquette of having a nervous trigger finger, but this giant creature jumped onto the top of one of the largest trees near me. He wasn't looking at me, but looking around. All he was to me was a silhouette, with large claws for hands and massive wings. His head seemed to resemble that of a deer or a larger animal of the same kind. At this moment, I overcame my awe and fired a shot at him. The creature's attention was drawn straight towards me, slightly tilting its head as he focused solely on my position. I fired another round towards that direction, but heard the bullet hit a tree close to my position. It was as if I was pointing at the tree and fired, despite my positioning not being as such. The bullet was somehow deflected from the creature onto the tree. At this moment, it let out another screech. And at that time, I was unexpectedly overcome with fear. I began to run towards the direction of the path. I heard horrible noises behind me, but the creature wasn't chasing me. I tripped and fell into a brush not too far from my sight, but was too overcome with fear to move. At this moment, I questioned if I really did fear death, and if I was ready for the after-death adventure I lustfully saw for sometimes.
Oh my god.
You couldn't even recognize my tent anymore. The shredding of it... Eventually, I fell asleep where I had fallen, and awoke to my campground completely destroyed. You couldn't even recognize my tent. The shredding of it was so excessive. My fire pit was smothered, and my rifle was nowhere to be found. I decided not to stick around after that night. I hiked back up to the road with my car and drove where I was staying in New Jersey. After all of this, I immediately documented what I saw, and now share that with you tonight. Was the creature the Jersey Devil? I'd like to think so, but this is what I know. There is something in the Pine Barrens. It stirs the greatest senses of fear that us as humans may not be able to withstand. And you know what the best part of this is? He's not going anywhere. Ooh.
Well, I guess it is a good thing. Like, you know that bitch can't travel.
Yeah.
And won't travel.
I think he meant he's not going anywhere, as in not gonna leave anytime soon.
Yeah, I know. Just trying
like,
to think of it in a positive,
You're
more
like,
positive
sorry.
light.
Just trying to be a little more positive, but
Guess not.
oh my gosh. Oh, so that was a fucking long one, Jesus.
That was scary, guys. I was so scared.
Yeah, I'm kind of terrified.
I know, guys.
Who's
I'm a little
terrified? Raise your hand.
spooked.
Raise your hand if you're terrified.
I'm a
Yeah.
little spooked. I'm a little spooked.
I wonder what Nate's gonna think of this episode. We have to send it to him immediately.
100%.
Because he says that he loves hearing about the Jersey Devil stuff, and I'm like, why?
Why?
Why do you love hearing about it?
Why? Nate, when you hear me ask why, I want you to text me. Send us a text
Yeah,
as to why.
yeah.
Okay?
Send it to the
Because
group chat ASAP.
I know I have questions. I know Zuzu has questions. We both have questions. We need answers.
We need answers.
We need answers.
But yeah, I'd say that's our podcast for the night. What do you think?
Never tell me the story ever again. Okay? I hate hearing
What about the berry bugs?
Next.
Next topic. Don't even describe
Next topic,
them.
please.
Why do they lay eggs in your skin?
Oh, God. Ew.
Anyways,
Oh, God.
you can follow this podcast on Spotify. Just look up Rambling About Things I Read on Reddit. You can also find it on YouTube. Just look up Rambling About Things I Read on Reddit, Brandon Amore, because annoyingly enough, it is not the first result. So y'all need to change that. Please help us change that. But yes, it's under my YouTube channel, Brandon Amore, and under the podcast section of Brandon Amore, there should be Rambling About Things I Read on Reddit. I also have an Instagram at brandon._.amore. My TikTok is the same thing, brandon._.amore. What about you, Ronni?
You can follow me on Instagram at Ronni Granados, RONNIGRANADOS. Or you can follow my TikTok at Ronni Red, RONNIIRED.
Yep. And that's pretty much all that we have for you guys this week. I hope you guys are excited for exciting stuff next week, because there's a bunch of interesting bunskies coming. No, it's not good. You're going to continue having trouble falling asleep, and I'm going to keep on telling you stories like this to keep on ruining your sleep schedule.
I know.
You don't got school to go back to, so, oh well. Deal with it.
I know.
But yes. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for listening to me slight whisper, but also talk. Good yawn, Ronni. Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks for supporting us in this endeavor. We hope you had a good week. We hope you had a good time listening to the podcast. Also, I don't know, let us know if you were driving while listening, or if you were like cleaning the house while listening, or if you were moving
And if
while
you're
listening.
driving, let us know after you're safe, obviously.
Oh no, of course, yeah. But also, why would you be listening to this while driving? I talk about scary stuff that happens in cars. So, given I did listen to this while driving, that's my fault. Turn on your lane assist if you have that, unless that makes you feel unsafe, in which case, don't. But also, even if you do have lane assist, reminder, that car is not self-driving. Tesla still hasn't even come out with their self-driving, and Tesla's not even doing very well. So, like, that's a whole other thing that I don't need to get into right now. Get a Prius. If you want a Tesla, get a Prius. You're going to be doing so much better for yourself. And it has all of the same features. Way better bang for your buck, too. For sure. Better aesthetics, too. Anyways, we gotta quit being car guys. Later. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Good night. If it's not nighttime, pretend that it's nighttime. It's gonna be nighttime fucking soon enough.
Yes.
Deal with it. So, Later. Love you guys so much. And thank you for watching, listening, supporting. Thank you for listening to my music. Keep on listening to Coronation and be excited for something else.
It'll be out by then.
What?
This will be out by then.
Oh yeah, but be excited for something else. Yeah, no, it's gonna be long enough. I hope you guys like Fracture Me. Fracture me. That's why I said fracture in another episode, but y'all aren't gonna get that until the song's out. But that's just deeper into my lore. This is a way for you guys to get to know me better. And Ronni better. Because me is we. Damn, I've been saying bye for 30 minutes now. Fucking goodbye, good night. I'm going to later, love you, bye.
You can't take my kingdom down, 'cause you're lying around and